It's Champ Chat, where we round up all the action from this game week in the Championship, the best league in the world. I won't have it any other way. You stuff your Premier League down your throat, whatever. Terrible.
Awful. League One's quite good.
Yeah, League One. I like League One.
I like the look of League One.
It's relentless. Relentless is League One, isn't it? But with me, I got Wedge.
Good morning.
I got Phil.
Morning.
Good to have you back, Phil.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
Yeah. And where is a good place to start? But before we start, remember, if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. We have loads of Championship content, and we'll have our say throughout the off season as well. So there'll be little bits and nuggets and about football and whatnot. Where's a good place to start?
Home Park.
Let's start
at Home Park with the sour-faced Chris Wilder. Oh my goodness! What a crybaby!
Yeah, like last week, I said to you, Wedge, who did Chris Wilder complain about? Who did he blame?
Apparently, last midweek, he didn't blame anyone, and it just came out twofold yesterday.
Yeah. He had a dig, didn't he, at the referee last week, saying that he was still searching for Ross Barkley's signature or something like that from a Luton game that happened last season, which is completely irrelevant. Yeah. And then this week, a game
they won.
So and then this week he's been turned over in the last 10 minutes by Plymouth, who have given themselves a bit of hope at the end. Two very good goals, by the way. I thought that the second goal by Tajani was exceptional technique. And I've mentioned it on this show before. I do love the atmosphere at Home Park. I love how it just explodes when they score. And then rather than Wilder being gracious in defeat, he's gone and had a bit of a Barney down the tunnel because he thinks that he's one of the lads, and the guy is an absolute waste. I can't stand the guy. Cannot stand the guy. You've earlier on in the season. I'm going on hard, aren't I? Welcome back, everyone.
You're making up for the lost time, right?
Earlier on in the season, you've said about Wilder, and you've made various different comments about feeling like he's not the man to get them over the line. It seems to be that's coming to fruition. So congratulations.
Who would have thought that? So, I was getting ready to make an apology to Chris Wilder. I have done. I said, he's doing exactly what you need to do, but he's falling apart. Three losses.
He's literally fallen
now.
apart. Everyone gets on the old bandwagon of Leeds are falling apart. I'll tell you what, Chris Wilder has absolutely dismantled. The old bulldog has absolutely dismantled himself. Yeah. So I'm really pleased about it. I really am pleased about it. I can't hide it. I just cannot stand the guy. I loathe him. I just cannot abide someone that is that sour about everything, whether it's win, lose, or draw. And the fact that he's off of three losses. And this isn't an anti-Blades thing, by the way. I actually think that Sheffield United, I still think they'll go up. I still think that they're too strong for anyone else in the Championship playoff picture to beat. But him as a person cannot stand it.
It's so funny because weeks ago he was out in the pub, wasn't he? Like, whoa! They thought they were already promoted.
Yeah.
After the Sheffield Wednesday win.
But he made a lot of changes again yesterday. There was a lot of things in
because he's falling apart, Phil.
Yeah. But this is the thing. He earlier on we've given him credit because he's changed it to try and keep the team fresh and to try and keep them with legs on the pitch and everything like that. But it's simply not working, and I'm quite enjoying it. As much as it's one of those things where Burnley are, I have nothing really against Burnley. I think that they've gone about their business particularly well this year. They've just incredibly tough to beat and just churn out wins. And if they don't win, they draw. They still carry on ticking over points.
But they look good on Friday night.
They did. Yeah. They did. They look very, very good. And then Leeds, like I say, Leeds are battling at the minute. I think that their form over the last month or so has been, there's been quite a significant downturn, but they're churning out results, and that's what you need at this time of year. So, and the big thing for Leeds is that Burnley and Sheffield United have got to play each other. Mm-hmm. So, truth be told, they probably need 4 to 6 points.
I fancy Burnley in that game.
So, same. So, but going back to it, well done Plymouth. Yeah. Well done Plymouth. They've given themselves a lifeline.
Hardy goal was tiny.
And
capitalised, didn't he? Just,
and like I said, ball. And we were discussing in our Luton show, weren't we, about what a season Plymouth have had. If you, like, they're still in it. First and foremost, they've given themselves that lifeline with a few games left, and second of all, they've had an adventure, haven't they? Like they've They've had Rooney. They've beaten Liverpool in the cup. They've beaten Brentford. Yeah. They've had this win yesterday.
Against Man City as well.
Yeah, like the guys have had the guys down south there in Devon have had a absolutely like adventurous topsy-turvy season. So good on them, and I hope that from their point of view that they something happens for them at the rest of the season. I think that they've given themselves a bit of a shot on the arm by that win yesterday, which with 10 minutes left, no one would have foreseen. So yeah, fair play to them.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Don't think I could have rounded up that match much better.
Sorry,
I'm
back.
You can take Burnley versus Norwich from Friday night, and then talk about Leeds as well.
Oh, can I?
The whole playoff.
Yeah, I kind of saw some of the Burnley. I was down the pub having dinner, and I was kind of ignoring my two friends a bit because I could just see it over in the corner.
You positioned yourself perfectly.
Yeah, so my eyes just kept going.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you saying? But yeah, Burnley looked pretty good, didn't they? Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
Medbury goal was fine.
Yeah.
Jaden Nancy's goal was slice of luck. Big deflection off
Norwich
Duffy's bum.
and Norwich aren't up to much. Norwich aren't up to much.
I mean, I said to you last week, Johan Hoffrup, he's gone. He's got to be gone.
Yeah, and so is up here for most of the players. They are not. They're just not at it.
Ball signs. He's thinking about his next move. Sargent,
the only thing he wants is a couple more goals to get himself the golden boot, and that's it.
Yeah,
I think he's 2 goals ahead of the rest of them. But he missed an opportunity, didn't he, against Burnley? Yeah. He could have towed it over. He did the right thing. He did the right thing by trying to sort of tow it over Trafford, but it was just inaccurate. But yeah, Norwich are one of those teams where I think anyone that's playing them in the last few games will look at that and earmark that as potentially 3 points because they're on the beach.
Yeah, which is I mean, they've had their season could have been so much better, really, hasn't it? But their kind of ethos almost is like, we'll score one more goal than you. It doesn't always work, and
when they had Sargent come back,
I
think that there was genuine like Norwich could go on and run it.
Yeah.
but it's not materialised.
They're leaky at the back.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Is their defender Cordoba, don't rate him at all. Duffy's slow. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Leeds,
Jack Stacey's still popping up, didn't he? He scored.
Yeah, he scored.
Fair play.
I thought it came off his knee.
Doing it.
but whenever it was, it came off him. He got the goal.
And sort of spun into the goal nicely. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But now, Burnley and Leeds, both 5 points clear of Sheffield United. Leeds with 2-1 win.
Solomon's first goal. I mean, even Preston's equaliser as well. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, both cracking goals, weren't they? But like I say, Leeds are just they're doing enough now.
They are doing enough.
Like you say, their form was a little bit, but I think it was made up. Maybe 1 or 2 losses, but they, getting the draws as well, weren't they? So they were still trying, picking up points.
I think that the big thing that people like play on about Leeds is that towards the crux end of the season that they'll fall apart. That's the sort of the storyline. But when you actually look at the last few games that they've played, even if you go back to Luton 2-3 games ago, they had the resilience to come back. It was a great goal by Dan James. I don't think they did enough to beat Luton on that particular occasion, but they dug out a draw. Then in midweek they've held on and kept a win, and ultimately they did that yesterday as well by holding on, because it would have been very, very easy for Preston to have gone up the other end of the pitch and done something against Leeds, but they're showing that resilience, which is the complete antithesis of
nice word.
Thank you. I'll get told off for that by certain fans by being too posh for that. But they've shown that they're not falling apart. They've actually got real steel. Unlike the Blades.
I think the steel industry in Sheffield is it's been gone for quite some time.
Because the other Sheffield lost again, didn't they?
Yeah.
It was at Oxford, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I think Oxford
ramifications for the relegation battle here. I think Oxford's.
Oh, they're fine. Yeah.
Well
done. Well done to Oxford, by the way, because a lot of people would have had them absolutely nailed.
It was looking wobbly for the past couple of weeks, though. So fair play to them.
But no, they made that change halfway through the season. They've ultimately come out of it the right side of the relegation line. So no, fair play to them for their first season in the Championship. They've done very, very well.
And they've gained ground on the rest of the teams that all drew or lost beneath them now.
Yeah. And Sheffield Wednesday are one that I think if you're a follower of the Championship, keep an eye on them next year. And what I mean by that, in a bad way.
Yeah, because Danny Roll's gone, mate.
Danny Roll will be gone. Their owner is an absolute car crash. He's awful. He's a dreadful owner. You've got an ageing squad. You've got a lot of reliance on some older players in there. And
How
the
old
truth
is Barry Bannon these days? Like 56?
48?
Yes.
Something like that.
So, but the thing is that there's real disparity between the delusions of the owner and what's actually going on at that club. That the owner will somehow fob it off when Roll goes and say that it wasn't all him. But ultimately, Danny Roll is the one reason why. He really has. He really has
so much potential halfway through the season, didn't they?
Yeah.
I remember before Christmas saying they're my dark horse.
Yeah.
But
the likes of Shea Charles as well, like they brought in a good.
And he's only on loan.
Yeah, I know.
So you look. I mean, I really fear for Wednesday next year. Obviously, this year will be fine. It's petering out to a nothing season, but it's a season where they're in the Championship, so fair play to them. But next year, if they don't have a change of ownership, I really fear for them. They could be a real sort of one to keep your eye on. Those are the fans of the Championship, and those Owls fans will be really, really anxious about what's going to go on in the summer.
We'll be keeping an eye on it.
Yeah.
But it could be positive things for Oxford. Like, they've solidified themselves now in the Championship.
Rowett's the man.
They've got all the talk about new stadiums and things like that. So future's kind of looking bright for them, aren't they? Really? I think
the new stadium have 4 sides.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I quite like that.
I'd be some amazing housery if they did a three-sided stadium on purpose in a brand new place. I'd love that.
Open it up with 3 sides and then maybe a couple seasons later get the 4th.
It's coming. The 4th side is coming.
Or it's just a stand full of ladders.
Shall we stay in the relegation battle then? Pompey and Derby played out at 2-2.
Hat-trick.
Hat-trick hero Rob Atkinson. He does it.
That was a game of some really good headers.
Yeah, I know.
Really good headers. Jerry Yates' header was fantastic, like proper boom, bullet header, going across from where the cross came from. And we were saying that Derby have got a massive say in what's going to happen.
They're the conductors of the relegation battle, really, aren't they? The teams that they've got to play, either Derby are picking up points or the teams around them are picking up points, because it's Luton, Stoke and Hull, I think, and they've got West Brom. I think it's Stoke. So depending on what results happen in those games, depends on who stays up, who goes down. So
I think Pompey, by drawing yesterday, will have done enough, I think, and I think that they'll pick up points in their remaining home games just because they're at home. I just think Pompey at home are a really, really good side. Obviously, they managed to get back to a draw yesterday, but that's testament to them. They try different things. They adapt, and I think that they'll be absolutely fine. It was one of those ones where Derby could have actually overtaken Pompey though yesterday. That shows how good a form Derby have been in when you consider how cut adrift they were and just how well Eustace has done for them over the last few weeks.
I mean, if those 3 teams, 'cause it was Oxford, Derby and Pompey that come up, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And if those 3 teams stay up, I mean, that would be
wonderful
really
for them, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It really puts the onus on Hull. They play on Monday against Cov. That is an important game at both ends of the table. Can't talk about that because we're recording this Sunday morning.
Well, if Cov win, they go 5 points clear of 7th, I think, don't they? So that really does cut adrift.
Yeah.
It's Borough and West Brom. So that's a big game, isn't it?
Yeah. Cardiff will be watching that one with interest because they lost to Stoke.
Let me just say that we hope that there was a medical emergency in the stands, wasn't there?
So it was a bit of a later finish.
So we hope they're okay anyway. But big result for Stoke.
Huge result for Stoke.
Own goal.
Yeah.
So fair play. It's nice to benefit from those.
Lewis Baker got away with one. That was an absolute gilt-edged chance in the first half, which he ballooned over the top.
There was no one to shoot it into and have it deflect.
It's clinical free kick midweek.
All right, Sauer.
The Luton special because he is from Luton.
So they like I said, that's a huge 3 points. I mean that was the definition of a 6-pointer, wasn't it, yesterday? Let's be honest. So huge victory for them, and late in the day as well. So you could see from the limbs in the stand that how much that meant to the Stoke fans. So massive win.
But I think with Cardiff, I mean, obviously they would have wanted to get someone out of the game, but they're still 1 point from safety, aren't they?
Yeah.
2 points behind Hull, I think. So a win for them leapfrogs teams, doesn't it? So they've still got a fair more amount of hope than possibly Luton.
Yeah, as Luton breathing down Cardiff's neck at the moment, unable to capitalise on a Blackburn team that were winless in 9.
Yeah, I'd say we're breathing down the neck of Plymouth going in the other direction.
Yeah. We're just facing
we're facing the wrong way.
Straight in their face, aren't we?
And is that our karma for constantly berating Blackburn and being the worst team in the league, or is it just
they were the worst
Luton?
form in the league?
Yeah.
Like over the last 8 games, like they were rock bottom in the form table. They were terrible, and that was a game. If Luton Town had any aspirations to stay up in the league, it was a must win, especially after drawing with Stoke. And control the controllables, as a great Luton Town manager once said, that means win your bloody games. You can only
against 10 men.
Yeah. Against 10 men.
He was a debutant as well. That was his first start for Blackburn.
The keeper.
The
guy that got sent off.
Oh, the guy who got sent off. Also the keeper. The keeper, it was his debut as well. Should have tested him more.
Spent more time on the ground than...
Well, you got to waste the time. Everyone does it. That's how you get over the line when you're 10 men.
Yeah.
And fair play.
Yeah.
And we talk about this more on our Luton Town show. It's on the channel. We'll be dropping tomorrow, so check it out.
Gives Blackburn a little bit of positivity towards the end of the season.
Yeah, they've got nothing to play for.
No, but actually getting a win, helps them out, doesn't it? So, I mean, obviously they came back from 2 goals down midweek as well. So.
Yeah. To be fair, they've shown some fight, despite the fact that they could, like I said, about Norwich, they could be on the beach. So, to be fair to them,
Sheffield Wednesday, they could be one of those teams that just middling, nothing to play for.
QPR,
and QPR, QPR are still batting away, aren't they?
It took some points off
draw
Bristol.
Against Bristol City.
Yeah, Bristol City, who look pretty nailed on to be taking a playoff place. Fair play to them, because I don't think they've been in the playoffs for many years.
No, they haven't finished above. They've only finished above 30. Yeah, I have a PhD in Bristol City. They've only finished above 13th once since they returned to the Championship from League One.
Yeah,
and
the assist was the standout yesterday.
They've been progressing. They have been progressing. This was a bigger jump than what you would have expected, but they've had some really terrible managers. There were some really good vibes around with Nigel Pearson. They all liked him, but he is awful. He's a dinosaur, isn't he? He's living off like being the guy that galvanised Leicester before they won the league. That's pretty much what his entire legacy is built on. I was the guy before Ranieri.
I set the foundations for a Premier League winning team.
I did. I brought Jamie Vardy to the club. I don't even know if he did bring Jamie Vardy to the club.
No idea.
I had a playoff in a playoff loss. I had Jamie Vardy and Harry Kane on the bench together. Have you seen that picture? Yeah. Like that. That's the legacy of Nigel Pearson.
Yeah.
He was a terrible manager. Liam Manning, hell of a manager. Got them in and around the playoffs, and also earthy. Like we saw him with our eyes last season. I think his first game for West Ham, he scored.
Yeah. I thought the standout thing yesterday was the assist though from Bird. I thought it was a wonderful through ball towards Earthy, and like I say, it's one of those ones where Bristol City, but above all else, they'll just be looking forwards now. They'll be like Sunderland in a way. Obviously, Sunderland are nailed for a playoff space, but I think that Bristol City,
though, aren't they?
Truth be told, I think that Sunderland are doing what Middlesbrough did a few seasons ago, and they'll be obviously trying to make sure that players are fit, giving themselves as much time as they possibly can. But that's it. It's momentum versus
they're not winning the playoffs. There's no chance they're winning the playoffs. Sunderland, no chance whatsoever.
It's an interesting one though, because you got Sunderland who are stop-start, you got Sheffield United who are falling apart, and then you've got those other
Coventry
two,
and Bristol City, I think.
But look at Southampton when they went up last season. Like they were still going until the end of the season because they were trying. They just missed out on the top two, didn't they?
Yeah.
So they were still going.
That's why I think Sheffield United will ultimately go up. because they're still at the moment they're still pushing.
They're still going? Well, yeah, give it another game or two.
Well, this is the thing. We'll see. They lose another one,
massive letdown.
But you think about if they win their next game and then they beat Burnley,
yeah,
then that second place potentially is right up for grabs. So I think that they're still going to be they have to be at it. So worst case scenario, they're not at it for a game or two. But Sunderland have been marooned in. It's not a bad place to be marooned, by the way, in fourth place. But the point is, they've been marooned there without any real opportunity to automatically go up and then
push.
Yeah. So they need to remotivate themselves. That will take some seriously good management, and we'll see how it pans out.
And let's be honest, I mean, they lost a Swansea team who are in good form as well at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, very. He's got them playing.
He really has.
Yeah. They're doing right. They're up to.
They're in top half of the table. Yeah.
You thought, a month ago they would be.
I thought they were getting sucked in.
Scrapping, weren't you? But
right time to sack the manager, bring in someone else. But he's doing a good job.
And even obviously he didn't know whether he was going to keep his job there, so it was still to kind of get the results through the uncertainty whether he was going to still be their head coach or not. Yeah, he's doing a great job. Great job.
Like I say, that game on Monday night is a big one. The Coventry Hull one, because then the gap will be Coventry, if they win, will go into 5th, and then it'll be Bristol City on 64, and then West Brom on 60, Middlesbrough on 60, Millwall on 60. Millwall been in great form, by the way.
Right?
Well,
they're streaky. They win. They win 1-0 in a row many times, and then they lose, and then they win again.
Yeah,
and they lose. And they
but the fact that they're still even in the conversation about playoffs with 4 games left, fair play to them.
Well, they dented Borough, didn't they?
They did. They did.
Yeah, I think Borough.
It's another Borough kind of result, though, isn't it?
It's peak Borough.
Yeah. I don't think that Carrick will stay if they don't get in the playoffs. I think he might even be asked to be gone. Be gone.
He's been given a hell of a chance, hasn't he? He's been there 3 seasons. I think
this will be the third.
He's done a great job picking Borough up from where they were when he came in.
Yeah.
They were like relegation battles.
Succeeded Chris Wilder, didn't he?
Yes, Chris Wilder had them bottom.
Yeah, bottom or very close to the bottom, wasn't he?
Yeah, and Borough round about the time. Then
we're really sticking a knife in his episode,
yeah. Chris Wilder. Take that, you sandwich boy. Carrick has done a tremendous job at Borough. They play some great football. It's because he had a dig at a linesman for eating a sandwich. After a game, I think it was in the locker room, he was eating a sandwich. All we know, the poor guy could have been hypoglycemic. I need to eat or I'm going to pass out. I've just been running up and down the line for 90 minutes. Then Chris Wilder comes in, don't you eat that sandwich while you're talking to me, but in a Yorkshire accent.
Oh.
And it's become
says the human Churchill dog.
Yeah. So Borough, I think, Carrick's done a great job.
West Brom got the win that they needed.
Exactly. And
they got the win that they needed to keep themselves in it.
Fellows completely undid Watford's left-hand side. I think, what is the name of that geezer on Watford's left-hand side? Because there's a couple of games in a row where he's been completely undone. Caleb Wiley. I think he's from their youth academy. He's been done so many times.
I'm not picking on a child, is that?
He's not a child, he's 20.
Right.
He got completely rinsed by Tom Fellows. Both goals.
Yeah. It's because that was Carla Hearn Grant's first goal since around Christmas time, I think.
Yeah.
First goal in a long time.
I can't imagine not scoring.
I was amazed. Do you know what's perhaps
more on the Luton show. Check it out tomorrow.
What's potentially the biggest surprise, and I think that I might even say a comment in a minute that even Watford fans might agree with. Yeah. Right, bear in mind, like we say, everyone knows who we support by now. Sissoko didn't blaze the ball over the bar when he was one-on-one. Sissoko is one of the worst one-on-one finishers that I've seen in both Premier League history and the Championship, and he actually made a really good finish. So I was surprised by that when I saw the position. You know, when you see certain highlights, you go, "This is going over the bar," and I was like, "Oh, he did score." Fair enough. But Watford, I think in terms of Watford, to summarise what's going on with them, mathematically they're not out of it, but they are out of it. They're another team on the beach.
Cleverly's done a hell of a job, though.
Going to bring up. So listening to 3 counties, there's does seem to, I mean, Watford are in a really strange position where they've had a manager for a whole season, and I don't know whether the fans know what to do with that.
No, the fans love it.
Because I mean, on free counters, some people were saying taxi for Cleverly, yeah.
I mean,
They were being predicted to be rock bottom at the beginning.
I was going to say, but how old are these fans that are saying that?
Yeah,
because I'm not being
they're
funny.
Just coming through on text on Three Counties Radio. But the commentator that covers the Watford games was, he was backing Cleverly quite highly, saying, he'd have learnt a lot through this season. I mean, it's the Championship. It's his first full season as a manager, and like I say, what the expectations from the start of the season and where they are now to be actually kind of in there and around the playoffs. Cleverly's had a great season, and it's whether I think do the fans think that he's board are going to keep him on, or the board going to make a change, because that's what they do most of the time.
A sensible board would allow the same thing as we just spoke about with Michael Carrick.
Yeah.
They would allow him another season to build on that already progress that he's shown. But this is Watford.
Yeah.
And
they might give him 6 weeks of the new season, and if they're not doing very good, he'll be off. But I think
he's raised his own expectations. Unfortunately.
And if he gets sacked, there'll be a
team.
number of people that want him. There'll be a number of people lining up for Tom Cleverley if they sack him. And I think that, like I say, for what it's worth, of my vote, I think it'd be absolutely stupid of Watford to sack him.
I'd love it. I'm all for it. Unbiased opinion, of course.
If we're going on unbiased, the three counties commentators said, Cleverley, he's played for England, Man United, Watford, big clubs, and I started laughing straight away at that. Unbiased, but
it's like if you've ever watched Blackadder, the 4th series of Blackadder, he's like, I bet he went to one of the great universities, Oxford, Cambridge, Hull. Like the spy test to see if you are indeed a German spy. England, Man United, Watford. Man United are terrible. But I think that's all the games covered, isn't it?
We'll see. I mean, ultimately, just to sort of head towards a sign-off, the big thing that everyone that's a supporter of a Championship club has got to look forward to is the Easter weekend. Because that double game week on the Friday and Monday is going to be a huge indicator for a number of teams about what their outlook is for next season. Yeah. So enjoy it. And we won't, because we're Luton fans. but enjoy it for the rest of you guys.
So Easter Sunday, we won't be here next week, will we? No. But hey, if you're in the Luton area. I don't know. Is there football on Sunday?
There's football
Monday.
On Monday,
Friday.
yeah. We're not going to have time to get a video out, are we?
Oh, right.
No. Well, we'll see. We'll discuss.
That's my mum's birthday on the Sunday, so I can spend more time.
Oh, that's
with
nice.
her.
It was your mum-in-law's birthday last.
Yeah.
And your mum's birthday.
It's my mum's birthday today. Genuinely.
There you go. Happy birthday, Mum.
And mine's May the 4th as well. So yeah.
Oh, Star Wars, baby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. May the 4th be with you. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. Dan DeLorean. Yeah. Whoopsie. That would have been a great.
Can we just wrap up now?
Well, if you're ever in Luton and you got a bit of time to kill before a train, head on down to the Bricklayers Arms. It's literally right next to the station.
The award-winning
Bricklayers Arms, camera award-winning. It's the best pub in South Bedfordshire.
Definition of a stone's throw away. Literally.
Yeah. Well, we might actually go try that out. After this, go throw stones at the station.
Couldn't look any worse, could it?
It's literally over there. You could chuck a stone over there. Maybe I don't think you could throw a brick that far. No, a stone, definitely a stone.
Bricklayer's good.
Yeah. And there's a beer festival going on as well. Like there's the snug outside looks fantastic. Nice beers, ciders, all on keg, so check it out. Thank you to Black Scientification and Carry On for the toys on the table that make this pod happen, and big thank you to the record shop in Amersham. Wherever you are in the country, go check out the record shop in Amersham for your vinyl. They got too much vinyl. They want you to take it off their hands. Please mention the OK Football Show, you'll get a discount. How nice is that?
There you go.
Yeah, whoever you support, everyone,
stay safe. Take care.
Bye.